What's up, you guys? Listen, this topic is touchy, it's sensitive, but I feel like it's necessary. And I wanted to have the conversation. So, Funky Dineva, he recently revealed that he's been diagnosed with cancer. And while many are sending prayers and compassion, which, look, he's a human being and even a dog deserves compassion, others are definitely reminding the internet of his long history of dragging, mocking, and, verbally attacking some people, even as recent as a few months ago, and some who never deserved it. So, this isn't about kicking someone when they're down. This is not about that. I'm just asking a real question. Can you demand grace from the same people you publicly disrespected or hurt? Let's talk about it, and let's just be beautifully honest. What's up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this conversation. All right, so I'm sharing my screen, and this is from the sandrarose.com blog. And it says Funky Dineva diagnosed with stage 1 prostate cancer. YouTube vlogger Quentin Latham, aka Funky Dineva, announced that he has stage 1 prostate cancer. The reality TV personality revealed his cancer was caught early with a blood test. He urged his male followers to get screened for prostate cancer with a blood test and a prostate rectal exam. The former TGIF co host announced his diagnosis on his Instagram page on Tuesday. And it looks like she has the video from Instagram here. Let's see if I could play it.
All right, guys. So I just got back from the urologist, and let me preface with I'm sharing this information for educational purposes and not for sympathy. But I have stage 1 prostate cancer. They did 12 biopsies, and two of them came back cancerous. One of them came back suspicious or inconclusive. It is very, very early. He mentioned something about a Gleason score and that mine was extremely low. So he's like, it is, you caught it at the earliest of early phases, which is a good thing. He's going to send off my, I guess, blood work or biopsies to do some genetic testing on it to determine if it's a slow growing cancer or a fast growing cancer. So we can then begin to explore what our treatment options were. I fast forwarded, asked him what are my treatment options. He said radiation, some experimental drugs, and surgery by robot. And I just went ahead and told him, I don't need to wait for anything to come back. Let's just go ahead and remove it, do a surgery by robot. And I have an appointment on December 8th with the robot doctor to set up surgery to get it removed. I don't think, I mean, granted, they gave me a book to read or whatever, and I'll, read over it tonight and across the week. But right now, with very little education, my gut just tells me cut it out. I want it cut out. I don't want to go through radiation and all of these other things. So that's what's going on with me, guys. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Yes, I'm a little down about it, but I'm about to take a nap, and I'll be fine.
All right, so you heard the words out of his own mouth. And listen, I'm glad early detection is key. Glad he caught it. Glad they caught it, meant to say. And he's in a place financially where he can do something about it. Because let's be honest, this country sucks when it comes to healthcare. It's almost like they're pumping cancer into people, and then the the medical system. I mean, I could do a video on that, podcast on that just in itself. I don't want to go off on a tangent about it, but the reason why I wanted to talk about this, guys, is I found out about it yesterday, actually late last night. I was in a live, and that's when somebody in the live brought it up and said that he was diagnosed with cancer. definitely was not good news, wasn't happy to hear it, but there was a conversation that was had, and I just wanted to bring it up with you guys and see what you thought, because there were some people that were like, "Well, look, just because this situation happened to him, it doesn't mean that you owe him your sympathy." And he even said out of his own mouth, he's not even saying sharing it for sympathy or looking for it. That could be true. That also could not be true. But either way, yeah, tell your followers early detection is key, and prostate cancer, it ain't nothing, to play with. But the conversation was had because most people know him for the career that he's built on social media, reading, dragging, sometimes humiliating, and sometimes low key threatening people, celebrities to content creators. And so now some people are debating whether he should automatically receive grace from the people that he publicly was going at it with after announcing this cancer diagnosis. This is not here to say that these people should wish harm on him or wish him bad or to say this is his karma or anything like that. No one's saying anything like that. So I want to preface all of that, all of what I'm saying, by saying that. And honestly, the responses are mixed. And he probably knows that too. And that's why he prefaced it by saying himself, he's not sharing it to garner sympathy. Now, there are a lot of people that were definitely giving him sympathy in the comment section of that video, and a lot of other people, their thoughts about the situation are mixed. Because when you look back, we know he's publicly gone at it with Claudia Jordan, even humiliated her, even if she may not admit it at this point in time because of where she is now, more than once, even after she showed him grace and helped him to be in a space, whether he wants to admit it or not, financially and professionally, because of the work that she put in. He came at Tasha K saying he was going to slap the shit out of her. It wasn't, I don't believe that was deserved at all, period. And two, calling her everything, but a child of God. And then he's spent years, even though he says he hasn't really said a whole lot when it comes to Michelle A.T. Brown, and she's talked about him more than he has talked about her. Either way, it's happened. And then he made some cruel, unnecessary comments about Keke Jabbar, who was on the show Love and Marriage Huntsville, who unfortunately came to her untimely demise. And after her passing, which many people heard him, say some things about her, they felt like he crossed the line. And so I'm just asking the question now that this is the crossroads that he stands at. And listen, I hope things do work out for him, because I don't wish this type of stuff on my worst enemy. And he isn't my enemy. I don't even know him. I do commentary from time to time when I feel like it and when I have time to. But some people, they're struggling with, should we send them thoughts and prayers? Should we, whatever? No, you don't wish harm on the person. But with some people, pretending his past behavior didn't leave a trail of hurt and disrespect, the truth is, life has a way of humbling us. It's not God putting anything on you because of what, no, because trust and believe, I've had so many people hurt me in my life, and it seems like they're living their best life. As far as I know, I don't sit to look to see what they're doing, but I haven't heard anything terrible or tragic happening to them. So as far as I'm concerned, if that hasn't happened to you, then you're living your best life. And you've done some terrible things to me. And if it, I know I'm not the only one that they've probably done some terrible things too. So we just have to be honest. Illness has a way of forcing reflection. And grace is not owed to anyone by people. God gives grace, but it's something that we can offer when there is accountability, when there's remorse or even some sort of change. And sometimes people don't change. But like I said, I believe everyone deserves compassion, even a dog, But compassion, it doesn't erase the impact of somebody's actions and their words. Words do hurt. So the question isn't whether he deserves to live or be healthy. I'm definitely not even speaking about that. Definitely not speaking about that. The question just is, will he use this moment of what he's going through and for his moment of healing for his body to also maybe reflect on the way he has engaged with people? I get it. Some may say, well, he already started doing that when he apologized to Claudia Jordan. Well, that wasn't an apology. That was, I want to work with you again. We made magic. We had lightning in a bottle. Let's make money. But I want it by these standards. And it has to be this way. And it has to be this way. And I want this. And I want that. And it was like, well, that wasn't an apology. You're just basically coming back, tail tucked in between your legs, and say, you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to admit I effed up, but yeah, I effed up. And now let's just move forward. And that's not an apology. So, will he finally give others the grace that some say even a dog deserves, so you should give it to him too? Will he use this moment? Because listen, every year we are allowed to see another birthday is a blessing. It is life. And we all should be growing and maturing, learning from the past, not only just mistakes, but decisions, because not every mistake is a decision and not every bad decision is a mistake. So it's like, hopefully, he will be well. He will be able to move forward and just do things differently. I would never sit here to say that he deserves to be bashed or to be hit over the head or anything like, well, this is your karma, or the old sayings that a lot of people have said over the years. God don't like ugly. God, no, I don't believe God puts sickness on anybody. Just like I don't believe God is taking people's lives in tragic ways and all of these other things that a lot of people like to put on God. It's like, I hear a lot of people talking about God when it comes to terrible, tragic things happening. It's like, we have to remember that if good, which is who God is supposed to be, exists, then evil also exists, which would be Satan or satanic. How about, is Satan taking some people's lives? Is Satan putting some illnesses and sickness and diseases on people? Not God. So I never want to give God any type of credit with terrible things happening to people. I believe he is able to make things that happen that are negative work out for your good, because that's just how good he is. But we live in a fallen world. We live in a dark space, and unfortunately terrible things happen. I don't wish any harm on him, and I'm glad that he is in a space financially where he is able to get his health taken care of, and it's not something that he has to worry about. He looks like he's chillaxing. It's another day. All right, they got my surgery scheduled. I'm going to be up in there, boom, boom, pow. Let's go ahead, cut it out, and let's move forward, and we'll just keep checking things moving forward and make sure that I'm going to be okay every year. And I hope that he does get better and that he heals from this, and also hope that he can heal from all of the other issues and things that he has been dealing with and going through. But I just wanted to have the conversation and ask the question, because I know that when people hear about situations like this happening to people, sometimes automatically people will go to public issues that these people have had with other people, and more so people will expect of the other parties, the other persons, to issue some sort of public grace and thoughts and prayers to that person. And I don't believe that that's old. Just like I don't believe forgiveness is old to anyone unless they ask for it. Because I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you're supposed to forgive everyone." But also people need to remember even how the Bible explains it. You don't just give blanketed forgiveness. They have to ask for it first. Yeah, you move forward and you forgive yourself in situations, but you're not just forgiving people that haven't asked for forgiveness. Now, if someone comes to you and they're like, "Look, I effed up. I did some terrible things and I'm asking you to forgive me." Yeah, forgive them. It doesn't mean forgiveness opens you up to reconciliation and opening up that person to being in your life again. You can forgive and move on. And that's what forgive and forget is supposed to mean. Forgetting doesn't mean that you have amnesia and you don't ever remember what the issues were or what the people did to you. It just means you're moving forward and you're not harping on it and you're not reveling in it and you're not sitting there daydreaming about it and rolling it over in your mind over and over and over again. That's what it means to forget. And to forgive means if they have repented and have asked for forgiveness, you don't just reject them and say, no, F you. I'm sorry. No, I can't forgive you. You can forgive when it's asked, but it doesn't mean that you have to have those people back in your life. But to just say, oh, yeah, I forgive them, they didn't even ask for it, because there's some people that are going around in this life, they know they did you wrong, did you dirty, and they will never admit that they did it. And hell, if they will ask you for forgiveness because they feel like you did them wrong, when they know in the deep down of them, in their dark hearts and dark souls, they did you wrong. But they will never ask for forgiveness because they don't believe that they owe you that. And you also don't owe them forgiveness for what they haven't asked for. But it doesn't mean that you can't forgive yourself and move forward and not revel in it over and over again, because those people are going to continue to live their lives not thinking about you after they have drug you, used you, stole from you, abused you, whatever. No. But anyway, I just wanted to ask the question. I hope that he just continues to do what he needs to do for his health. And prostate cancer is no joke, but also I think it's really even more so important when you're dealing with these gay men. I think it's something that I believe, and I could be wrong, I'm not a medical expert, but I believe it's also more prevalent in that community. So anyway, I want to know what you guys think, so let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye. Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind when we rewind.